Warriors Nation, it's time to regroup and refocus. With Kevon Looney officially gone in free agency, one thing is crystal clear. Golden State has a hole to fill in the front court, and it's not just about size. It's about leadership, it's about experience, it's about playoff readiness. And yes, it's about complementing the unique skill set of Steph Curry and whatever moves the front office has in store next. Now, let's cut right to the chase. One name is standing tall on the Warriors' radar: Al Horford. That's right, the Al Horford. The same Al Horford who just lifted the Larry O'Brien trophy with the Boston Celtics. The same Al Horford who, even at 39 years old, continues to be one of the smartest, most reliable big men in the NBA. According to Anthony Slater from The Athletic, team sources have listed stretch center as a top priority for the Dubs, and it's Horford who has emerged as a preferred target. Now, before anyone starts raising eyebrows about his age, let's look at the numbers and the context. Last season, Horford averaged 9 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 2.1 assists on 42.3% shooting. But those stats only scratch the surface. What made Horford so essential to Boston's title run wasn't just the box score. It was his ability to defend multiple positions, space the floor, and elevate his game when it mattered most. He started 42 games during the regular season, remained healthy deep into June, and offered something that can't be taught: veteran poise in high-pressure moments. Think about that in a Warriors jersey. Imagine Horford setting screens for Steph, or spacing the floor as a fifth option next to Curry, Draymond, Wiggins, and potentially Jimmy Butler if the rumors are to be believed. The fit makes sense. The leadership is real, and the championship mindset is exactly what this roster needs if they're going to make one last serious title push in the Curry era. It's not about building for 5 years from now. It's about maximizing this very moment. Steph isn't getting younger. Neither's Draymond. And if there's one thing this past postseason made clear, it's that the Warriors can't rely on undersized lineups or inexperienced role players to win in the playoffs anymore. They need someone who's been there, someone who's done it. Horford checks every box. But here's where it gets even more interesting. According to Brett Siegel from Clutch Points, if the Warriors don't land Horford, whether due to salary cap issues or a competing offer from another contender, they have a solid backup plan. And it's a name that should sound familiar to true Dubs fans: Chris Boucher. That's right, the 2018 NBA champion and former Warrior could be on his way back to the Bay. But we'll dive into that in Chapter 2. For now, let's focus on the here and now. Al Horford could be wearing blue and gold next season. And look, there are skeptics out there. Some might say 39 is too old. Some might argue the Warriors need to get younger, not older. But here's the thing. When you're trying to win now, you don't build around youth. You build around experience, IQ, and guys who know what it takes to win on the biggest stage. Horford fits that mold. And in a locker room already stacked with championship DNA, his presence could be the final piece of the puzzle, not just to keep pace with the Nuggets or Celtics, but to remind the league that the Warriors dynasty isn't dead yet. So, let's hear it, Dub Nation. Do you want to see Al Horford in a Warriors jersey? Do you think he fits next to Curry and Draymond for one last run? Or would you prefer the front office chase younger legs instead? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's get this debate going, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for all the latest off-season moves, rumors, and reactions from Warriors Nation News.
All right, Warriors Nation. Since we've already broken down why Al Horford could be the ideal veteran fit to bolster our front court, let's talk about the other name floating around the rumor mill, one that's stirring a very different kind of buzz: Chris Boucher. Now, this isn't just some random rumor. This is a real, calculated fallback option that shows the Warriors front office is doing their homework. According to Brett Siegel of Clutch Points, if Golden State strikes out on Horford, Boucher is next in line. And that might not be such a bad thing. Let's take a step back. Chris Boucher actually started his NBA journey right here in the Bay. He was a rookie on the 2018 Warriors squad that hoisted the Larry O'Brien trophy. Sure, he didn't get meaningful minutes back then, but don't let that fool you. Boucher's game has grown tremendously since his early days in Golden State. Fast forward to the 2024-25 season with the Toronto Raptors. Boucher played 50 regular season games, averaging 10 points and 4.5 rebounds per game, while shooting 49.2% from the field and 36.3% from three. For a 6'9" forward center hybrid with long arms, shot-blocking instincts, and improved shooting range, that's not just solid, that's exactly the kind of versatility the Warriors love. And let's be honest, this team needs fresh legs, energy, and hunger off the bench. Kevon Looney brought grit and heart, but what the Warriors lacked was a big who could stretch the floor and move vertically. Boucher can do both. He's a high-flying shot blocker, a capable rebounder, and has enough shooting touch to demand defensive attention around the arc. More importantly, he's cost-effective. Al Horford comes with a championship pedigree and high basketball IQ, but he also likely commands a higher price tag. Boucher gives the Warriors an alternative that's not only more financially manageable, but also a better fit in a fast-paced, space-heavy offense when Curry is running wild and defenders are scrambling to keep up. There's also the emotional element to this potential reunion. We talk a lot about culture in Golden State, and that culture is built on second chances, development, and loyalty. Boucher knows what it's like to be a young player overlooked in the league. He knows what it means to grind his way into a role. And let's not forget, he's already tasted what it feels like to win a title with this franchise. That's not something you forget. That's something you carry with pride. A return to the Bay wouldn't just be a new contract, it would be unfinished business. Now, this doesn't mean Boucher is a lock. Other teams will likely show interest, especially those that need stretch bigs who can block shots and play off the bench. But what the Warriors have that other teams don't is familiarity with the system, with the leadership, and with the fan base. It's easy to imagine a scenario where Boucher comes in, earns minutes behind Draymond Green, and builds chemistry quickly with Curry and the rest of the rotation. And in a year where every roster move matters, having a flexible, low-cost big like Boucher in your back pocket might be the smartest play if Plan A, Al Horford, doesn't come through. There's also one more angle we can't ignore. What if the Warriors land both? Picture it. Horford as the seasoned veteran to stabilize the front court, and Boucher as the energy guy off the bench, bringing shot blocking and transition buckets. That's depth the Dubs haven't had since the 2022 title run. That's real rotation strength. And we haven't even talked yet about Gary Payton II or DeAnthony Melton, both of whom the Warriors are reportedly still monitoring. But we'll save that for Chapter 3. For now, we want to hear from you. Would you welcome Chris Boucher back to the Bay Area? Do you think he could carve out a real role next to Curry and Draymond? Or should the Warriors aim even higher if they miss on Horford? Drop your answers in the comments right now. We read every single one. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for non-stop coverage of every trade, free agency rumor, and analysis about your Golden State Warriors. And hit that like button if you believe Boucher could be part of the Warriors' redemption arc in 2025.
All right, Warriors Nation, let's bring this full circle. We've talked about Al Horford, the ideal veteran with championship DNA. We've discussed Chris Boucher, the underrated former Warrior with untapped potential and a reunion story that practically writes itself. But now, it's time to step back and look at the bigger picture. What are the Warriors really trying to do here? Let's be honest, the days of thinking 5 years ahead are over. The dynasty is deep into its twilight, but it's not done yet. Not with Stephen Curry still playing at an elite level, not with Draymond Green still anchoring the defense, and certainly not with a front office that knows how to maximize value and build around its core. These moves we're seeing, the interest in Horford, the backup plan with Boucher, the whispers of DeAnthony Melton and Gary Payton II, this isn't rebuilding, it's reloading. It's the front office saying, we're not done, not by a long shot. And honestly, they're right. Just look around the Western Conference. Yes, the Nuggets are still dangerous, the Timberwolves are rising, and the Thunder, loaded with talent. But none of those teams have a core that's been there, won that, and still has one of the greatest offensive weapons in NBA history running the show. That's where the Warriors have the edge. Experience, identity, and now, if these potential signings pan out, depth. Al Horford gives you leadership, spacing, and the kind of locker room presence that elevates young players and holds veterans accountable. Chris Boucher brings verticality, switchability, and energy, exactly what this team missed at times last season. Add in the possibility of keeping Gary Payton II, an elite point-of-attack defender and locker room favorite, or bringing in a tough, gritty combo guard like DeAnthony Melton, and suddenly you have a roster that can fight. Not just make the playoffs, compete for something bigger. And let's not forget, The Warriors are reportedly keeping tabs on Jimmy Butler, who's still being discussed in various trade scenarios. If there's a way to add Butler to this roster without completely gutting the team's depth or future flexibility, you better believe Bob Myers, or whoever takes the reins in the front office, is going to explore it. It's the same mentality that got us 4 rings. Be aggressive, be smart, and surround Steph with high IQ, playoff-tested players who know how to play Warriors basketball. Now, of course, none of this is guaranteed. Horford might stay loyal to Boston, Boucher might get a bigger offer elsewhere, and Butler? That would take some serious maneuvering. But the point is this: the Warriors are active, they're strategic, and they're not afraid to swing for the fences. You can feel it. There's a shift coming. The rest of the league is sleeping on the Dubs, assuming last season's play-in disappointment was the end of the story. But they've done that before. They did it before 2022, and we all saw how that turned out. This team has never been about flashy regular seasons. This team is about moments. May, June, legacy. So here's the final thought, Warriors Nation. Do you believe this team still has one more title run in them? Would adding veterans like Horford or Boucher be enough to spark the fire again? And which player, Horford, Boucher, or someone else, would you prioritize this offseason? Let us know your take in the comments. Get loud, get honest. This is your community and your team. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe for daily updates, and share this video with another Warriors fan who still believes in the dynasty. Because one thing's for sure, the dynasty isn't dead. It's just reloading. This is Warriors Nation News, where real fans speak loud, stay loyal, and never count out the greatest team of this generation.